Yes, Money Monday. This is real life Money Monday. So what are we going to be covering today? This is going to be the latest property news as well as a Q&A live. So if you're live, put a hashtag live. If you are not live, put a hashtag replay. That way, any question that you ask, we will be able to help you get your answer to these questions. Now, tonight, you're actually in for a huge, huge treat. So I would start commenting and tagging some people. I have some extremely special guests, very highly qualified from different areas. Oh, yeah, you might have realized it's going to be more than one. So go tag as many people as possible, because if you want to go the latest news when it comes to property and get your questions answered, you can ask anything live right now. We've got different opinions, different expertise, different skills, different experiences, different knowledge, different strategies. So you might want to be knowing about service accommodation. You might want to know about development. Write this down in the comments. Like, first of all, hashtag live, hashtag replay. Then what is it you want to know? What is it that's of interest to you? What is it you would like to go and move into? Explore maybe development projects, building houses. Is it commercial conversions? Is it service accommodation? Is it rent to rent, rent to HMO, rent to service accommodation? Is it conversions? Is it barn conversions, farm conversions? Is it a conversion of your bank account into, more numbers, more digits? Yeah, whatever it is, type it in the comments and tag people quickly. Do it quickly right now, because I think it's super important that you know the latest news, number one. Yeah, and after the latest news, you're going to need to get your questions answered. Where else can you go to get your questions answered from some highly qualified people right now? Yeah, because we're talking about business, we're talking about personal development, we're talking about transformation, we're talking about mindset, we're talking about property strategies, we're talking about all of this stuff. Entrepreneur. So if you're any of those, why don't you type in? Let me know what you are. Let me know what you're acting as. Yeah, employee, maybe. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I was employed for a long time. Learn a lot, made some money. Wasted some time. No, I don't think it was a waste of time. I don't regret anything. Listen, I was speaking to someone this morning. This is super important that you understand this. Everything is perfect. It's just your opinion of whether you like it or not, which then you determine whether it was perfect or not. Honestly, the way everything happens, what's happening right now in the world, in the economy, all of that stuff, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at 2008. Everyone was hating that at the time. And then afterwards was, oh, yeah, everything is better now. This is better. I got a new job. That business went. New industries opened. New opportunities were born. So if you want a new opportunity, I want you to be tagging some people right now, because I think this is super important. Because I'm going to start bringing in now what we're going to call the Money Monday team, the Money Monday panel. Let me know if you want to see who's on the Money Monday panel. We could have a panel once a month. We're going to do a Money Monday panel. So let me see who's we're going to bring in. Yeah, let me see who's going to. Yes, look at this. You weren't even ready for that, were you guys? Look at these people. Now, we got some people, number one, they're from the Real Life Tribe. Yeah, these have been on a few different training programs and are now executing some amazing strategies, increasing income, freedom. All of you are out of your day jobs. Yeah, was that what your career? Shane actually was like, this professional football game, I'm going to quit that just to be part of this team. Yeah. Lewis is in construction. So is Justin, and Ray was a teacher in what is known as the education system, now has decided to be in the real education. Yeah. So, yeah, because that's what we're all in. Would you say we're all in the business of real education? Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because real education means to educe. Yeah. Draw out, not just, have you told, like, just tell you something and say, yeah, that's the way it is. Go and figure that out. It's actually making you self-sufficient. So let's do a little bit of intro so the people out there can know who you are. So who wants to go first? Just do a little bit of intro and what strategies you're doing and, some results that you guys are getting at the moment.
Cool. So I'm Lewis Perrin, 28. My strategies vary, actually. I've got SA, Buy-to-Let, which is with a housing association, and currently doing a Grow to Listed conversion.
Yes.
Very modest, but thank you. Good. Who's next?
Hiya, I'm Shane. Since I've been going full time, I've primarily been working in doing some flip projects and most recently larger development, and that's the kind of space that we're looking to specialise in at the moment.
Good, but yeah, excellent. I mean, let's do another quick brief intro because you guys are being very modest here. But people need to know what kind of questions they can ask. So we're going a little bit more detail. So you got Justin and Ray.
So I'm Ray. This is Justin. We primarily do the rent-to-rent strategy, rent to HMO. We do have a rent to serviced accommodation as well, and we're currently purchasing HMOs.
And also we're doing supported living as well. So yeah, we're delving into that, contributing as well. So yeah, loving it.
Good. So it's super important that people can, ask you some questions. So you guys, so let's just now go back in the reverse order. So, Justin and Ray, you guys are making over £10,000 net profit a month from rent to rent. That's true, isn't it? Yeah. So going all the way through from finding deals all the way through to actually managing, because you self-manage a lot of your units as well, which is what? How many units you have now?
It was 70, but we agreed on another 6 yesterday. So yeah, that's gone up to 76, and it's going up week by week.
Good. Okay, good. So like what? So running a business, having systems in place to be able to self-manage you as your organization over 70 units, which has grew very quickly, like in literally the last 12 months, right? Yeah. So to be able to make sure that you can fill any gaps, plug any holes that come up when things grow so quickly, you guys have done immensely well. So any questions in that area, and also switching from generating cash through rent to rent without owning properties now to owning properties. These are the areas that you guys want to ask. Okay, so yeah, people want to know about everything about flips. So Shane, you've done some flips. Yeah, which is what you purchased existing houses and then sold them on after a renovation.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, so you've already done that though, yeah? You've done that many times.
Yes, already done that a few times, yeah. And we've actually got 2 on the go right now.
Good. And so you can tell us what not to do in that area as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So we can hear a little bit about that. And then also another, what I would class it as flip when you're building new houses. So you built some new houses. So you just took on how many would you sell? How much money did you just make? That's what really people want to know.
The money's not been crystallized yet because we haven't. The final couple of sales haven't gone through. About 600 we completed 4 sales, and that was good. That kind of took us to a level, really.
4 sales, yeah.
4 sales completed, yeah.
Good.
We're looking at now the whole development site. We're on the market for just under £4.5 million. So it's a big achievement.
Yeah.
So you say the money's not been crystallized. What was that 1.2 million in your bank account the other day? Yeah, I mean, maybe my definition of crystallize is not. You mean you don't spend it on? You buy crystal? You invest in crystals too? Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. But hey, look, anything around developments. I know you're doing pub conversions and flips and all that. So get your questions in. Start putting them in the comments right now. And I don't see you tagging enough people. Guys, whoever's watching this right now, tag a lot of people. Get people from the Real Life Tribe. Get your other friends, your other family. Just at least give them the opportunity to say, hey, do I want to hear from this? Do I want to get involved? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's going to come up on the screen. They're going to go, no, swipe left, swipe right, whatever that means. If you want to know, Lewis knows about that. So, Lewis.
Yes, sir. For me, the questions you can ask, any question about any strategy, because if we don't know the answers, then at least we're aware of something that we don't know. So then we'll go find the answers. So I'm ready for anything, mindset, anything, just anything. I'm just excited to see what comes up.
Good, yeah, but like you've gone through some intense experiences over the last 12 months around planning permission.
Yeah. So grade 2 listed, conservation area of outstanding natural beauty, highways were against it, councils were against it, just everything was against it. So it took me over a year and a bit just to get the planning through.
So dealing with neighbours,
councils, just everything.
Family,
everyone. Just
and I know you've now left your day job, but there was a large portion when you started out in your journey, a large portion of that time where you were doing it with, in a day job, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
So any questions on how to juggle that when you're putting a lot of effort in? Shane's got a couple of kids. Lewis has got a couple of kids. Justin's ordered a couple of kids. Yeah. So any questions you want to know about any of that? Yeah, you can put it in. Yeah. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Warren. Start tagging some people. Let's get a bit of courage behind ourselves, because now more than ever, it's about building a team. It's about recruiting. So right now is your chance to recruit some people to come and watch this to see if they want to know what the latest news is. Yeah, the latest news about what's going on in planning, developments, the buying, the selling, the rent to rent, or any of that. Oh my goodness, what's happening with bounce back loans? Are people refinances? Is there down values happening? Like all of this crazy stuff seems to be rocking out there. Yeah. Oh, how can we do? I don't think we can see it anymore, so we can't see the Money Monday thing. Yeah. So hey, look, that's it, team. Whoever's watching this, make sure that you're putting in your questions. But the first thing we've had is someone mentioning about flips. What is the latest news in the market about people wanting to buy houses? Because there was this fear of the market's going to crash. Nobody's going to be buying houses. I mean, let's have everybody's different opinion around what they're hearing, what they're seeing. And obviously, Shane, you're selling plenty of houses based on your bank account. So let's see what's going on in that department. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on in flips?
Sorry, I thought you were asking for a question. Sorry, what's going on? I think a lot of people have been a little bit scared to buy houses because they're thinking that the affordability might be a bit low. But the government seems to be trying to do some good stuff in a bit of a stamp duty break. So definitely people being able to buy houses, they're going to be able to save some money on fees and even getting into the house. So it looks like the government are trying to keep the flow of money going. It's certainly going to help people buying houses, but then equally, we're looking to take advantage of that when we're looking to sell that house as well, that the people buying it are going to save a little bit of money also. So we have tried to protect ourselves, but we've factored in that should it drop a little bit, we have got that factored in. It would still work if we sold it at a little bit of a reduced price than what we want.
Yeah. So I don't see any problem with that. I mean, from what I've seen from the agents that we're working with, they're saying right now, especially as a more easing with the lockdown and people are actually prepared to leave their house, the sales are going through. Sales are going up. Mm. And I mean, there's a comment in here: thoughts on house prices falling in a possible crash.
Yeah, well, we obviously we couldn't sell the houses because they couldn't go to completing during COVID because nobody was working. People were fearful of what's going to happen, so we had to wait until lockdown eased before the sales completed, which was really good for us. But it was caused a bit of pain during the lockdown process. But equally, Warren Buffett said, if you're going to buy stock, whether that be shares or whether that be houses, in our case, if you're going to buy something in an uncertain market, make sure you buy something that you'd be happy to hold on to. So I definitely think that's been part of our remit, so that where we are and where we're buying, should the market absolutely nosedive, we know that we can just keep hold of it and it would work on a second exit strategy also. So if they're going to become part of our portfolio, we're going to be not too disappointed with that. And I think if we don't make our profit in the next 6 months, we might have to wait another 12 months or even 24 months for it to come through.
So with the flips, with this uncertain market, like Shane is saying, having at least two exits. So having, like, if you're going to go and buy something, so Warren is asking, what happens if it's going to fall? Well, at the end of the day, it depends what your business model is. But ultimately, if you're going to go for aggressive growth, then you can't hold back. And a lot of people might disagree with that, but that's up to them. Yeah, but the way I see it, as long as you're not going to lose money, if you have to fall back to a second or third exit, if I'm prepared to hold on to it, to fulfill that's worth the risk. You know, if I could go into the casino yeah, and place bets. And at the worst, if the result that I wanted to happen didn't happen, I still don't lose the money, and I just have to wait longer to get my win. Listen, I'm playing that game all day long. So this is the thing about the whole fear will stop you moving forward. It's gonna kill your success. It's gonna kill your dreams. It's gonna stop you from going out to build, the business of your dreams. People are trying to hold on to their money. I was just having this conversation earlier, a couple of hours ago. Hold on to your money, and then you're wondering why nothing else is coming to you. Because you're trying to hold on to your money right here. Are you trying to hold on to? Are you holding fire, but on deals? So that means those people are not benefiting from you taking action. Them wanting to sell a house. Some people might be in trouble, and that's why rent to rent is rife right now, because people, they're gone into defense, so they don't know how to handle like going out there in offense in the market to fill the properties, to create better products. Yeah, so that's why rent to rent. I mean, Justin's dying to say something.
I know exactly.
I'm edging forward. No, rent to rent picked up so much. So we were sending out hundreds of letters previously to Corona, and now we're sending them now, and we're getting so many more leads because these landlords that used to pick up our letters and they would be like, why would I get someone else to manage it? I'm managing it. Why am I going?
I don't need guaranteed.
I don't need guaranteed rent. I can get the top whack. So I can get the top whack rents already. I've got good demand. But now they are scared, and especially the ones that are at the bottom of the market with the
more rundown HMOs.
With the more rundown HMOs. Now they're scared because they can't fill the rooms. So that is why we come in, and now they're looking at our letters and they're thinking, maybe this is a good thing after all. Let me ring these up. Yeah. So it's just picked up so much, and it's the perfect time now to be doing it.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So that's the key here. So, hey, look, someone tags someone in it and they're thanking them. They're like, thank you so much for tagging me in the video. So if that's not enough proof to just say, hey, look, you never know. You're going to help someone's life out here. You're going to brighten someone's day up here, because they're going to be like, oh, what? There's a different way? I can make income differently. I can upgrade my knowledge. I can get some insights on some new information. There's a lot of people, they don't realize that this way. I mean, I didn't for years. I don't know about you guys, but for years I didn't know. I just thought, work hard as men. If I can put more hours in than anyone else, that's how I'm going to achieve more. How wrong I was. That's crazy to think that's even, plausible, let alone that. So
that's what I was taught though, right?
Yeah.
I never heard of passive income until I was over 20 years old. Never heard that term in my life. I had to Google it. Like, what the hell is that? I've read it in a book. I was like, passive? Like, that's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you're very fortunate. I wish I heard of that when I was 20. So what else is going on here? So where is your area? Looking for sources and project managers in Liverpool. Well, you're in the right place. And put that out everywhere. Like, if that's what you're looking for, let people know what it is you're doing. What else we got? Would you say that would you stay with HMO rather than go to buy to let? Do you think the demand will change back to the HMO market again? Well, question number one, who says that it's gone away from the HMO market? Where is that evidence? Because I'm seeing, things pick up rife. And if you've got the right, if you followed the process, and you're providing good product for the market, then the rooms are filling fast now, fast.
If anything, it's better now, because if people are saying there's going to be a crash, people are losing jobs, that means people are getting less money. That means HMO rooms are now more affordable to the mass. So before, when they had a house, they had to pay for all the bills, they had to pay for all the furniture and stuff. Now HMO rooms are just more appealing because they are cheaper than a house or a flat.
Yeah, I have noticed most recently people was looking at flats and studios, and now they're coming to more of a regular double room in a HMO because the cost is less, bills are included. Like Justin said, it's just easy for them. They've not got to worry about what if I can't pay the council tax or whatever else.
And that's why the process of managing it as well, and knowing, making sure you get the right deals in the right areas at the right price, which means you can convert it into the right product that people want to buy, and then manage it as well, because like people, like the standard is rising. It's not just, okay, stick a lock on the room and put a bed in it. That's not washing anymore. And those people are like you say, they're the ones that are struggling. The ones like Justin was saying, it's kind of at the bottom of the thing. Let me kind of move into one of these places. because there's too much other quality on the market right now. So whether you're doing buy to let, whether you're doing HMO, there are a few different variants, by the way, in all of them. A few different variants in all of them, because it depends what's your strategy. Yeah, it depends what your goals and your outcomes are. Will depends on what strategy is going to give you the best impact to like hit some goals that I've got to get to this outcome. That's so important. So whether it is buy to let, whether it is HMO, I wouldn't advise just solely like, oh, what strategy is good for me. It's got to fit the bigger picture, because when times change like they are now, the people that didn't have any idea, they was like, oh, let's just head in this direction. Yeah, I've seen someone else doing that. Let's try and figure that out. Yeah, now they're panicking because they don't know what they were doing it for in the first place. You know, there's no business model. There's no business systems. Has anyone else got anything to comment around that?
Yeah, I was just going to say about like just what's the outcome. You say what strategy should I do, or which one aligns you quickest to your outcome? Because there's no point saying, yeah, HMOs will get me there in two properties, or I need 20 buy to let. So let's go down the buy to let route, because that's going to take you 10 times longer to reach that. So just stay outcome orientated.
Definitely, super important. So the demand again is you need to figure out what your demand is for your product before you even get into the product. Where you're buying a house, you're taking on a rent to rent, you're going to build a site. But now the question is, can things change? Things change?
They can so quickly.
Yeah, but then what happens? You know, so okay, so if I buy that, people might perceive that we're at a high market, you know, high value, like house prices are high right now. People might perceive that to be true. I mean, it's only true until, you know, they go up another 20%, and then it wasn't a high anymore. Yeah, because this is the beauty. This is the beauty of it, of having a strategy that works, whether it's going up, down, or sideways. Up, down, or sideways. Now the question is, and we actually give some principles and some teachings that's happening this Wednesday on Discover Your True Potential about the economy. Yeah, people realizing, or people are having to realize, like, okay, so what's going on in the economy right now? This is going to determine my level of success. Well, the question here is, if the economy is going up, do people make money? I mean, they do, right? Yeah. If the economy is going up, are there still people that do not make money?
Definitely.
Well, of course there is. Yeah. So if the economy is going down, are there people that lose jobs and lose money?
Yeah.
Yeah. When the economy is going down, are there people that make lots of money? Yeah. So on that basis, this is just my opinion, but now I'm under the opinion there is no economy. It's just my economy. You know, it's how I play the game. If I want to get deluded and messed up and confused by all that noise happening outside of me, outside of my business, and I'm not saying don't pay attention to what's going on. So again, you're just looking for an excuse if that's what you think I'm saying. Yeah, what I'm saying is I'm not going to let all of that stuff, you know, drive me crazy and stop me from doing deals, because I just got to look at the deal, and the deal takes into account of, you know, the supply and demand. And if people are buying houses left, right, and center, then flips are going to work beautifully. But if people are not buying houses, what they're going to be doing?
Selling.
I don't know.
Well, if people are not buying, I mean, they may be selling, well, they may be trying to sell them, but if people are not buying them, they're not going to be able to sell them. Yeah. So if people are not buying houses, what they're going to do? What do you buy a house for?
To live in.
Yeah. So if they're not buying houses, what they're going to be doing?
Renting them out or living them themselves.
No, I know they're going to rent. Yeah, they're going to have to rent. Yeah. So like, there's going to be a strategy that works, you know, either way, no matter what's happening. And there's always going to be a mixture of both. So what would you guys say in terms of like the latest news right now in that?
Well, I was speaking to a few agents the other day, and they said it literally is a seller's market at the moment. They literally said it's a seller's market. Everyone's selling. Like some of them say they're the busiest they've ever been in 25 years of business. Now it's gone crazy. And I think everyone's like just held back, and then they realized the world hadn't ended, and then everyone's like, right, quick, and then everyone's just go, and it's just like builders are busy. Every trade is packed out. It's just gone, like demand's just gone through the roof.
Yeah, it's gone nuts. Every time I ring to book viewings for appointments for houses, I'm on hold for 5 minutes. I'm ringing an estate agent in Nottingham, They put me through to the Colchester one, and I say, what am I doing here? And they said, oh, Nottingham one's too busy, so you've gone around the UK and you've ended up in Colchester.
As well, we found that they've been a lot more expensive than there was before COVID, because all the agents we spoke to are like, yeah, the house prices at the minute, especially in Nottingham, everything's gone up for sale much more than what it was before.
And it's sold.
And
they're
sold
selling
dead
quicker.
quick.
Yeah. So with that in mind, again, another little voice in the marketplace or in the economy may be that, okay, yeah, but it's high again. It's a false economy. It's a bubble. It's going to crash. So you're going to buy at the high and then you're not going to be able to sell it and offload it. So what would you say to these people?
Change your strategy. Either change your strategy or, I mean, people just wait for the perfect time, but there is no perfect time. So you've just got to take action and do what you think's right.
And I think multiple exits on deals, if you are uncertain of what the times are going to be like, and if you did want to sell it, can you hold it for a little bit, like you were saying, Martin, and sell it later down the line? Or we ourselves lost a deal that we didn't think about the different exits we had that we could have done, wouldn't we? And then we'd have still had that deal and potentially made a lot of money on it. So.
Definitely comes down to the strategy, right? If you've got exit strategies, so you're covered. If this happens, then what's the fear? If I don't need to sell it and the market crashes, then I don't need to sell it and I'm still fine regardless of what's happening in the market. So I guess it's just planning.
Yeah. What do you say, Shane? Do I have to unmute you?
I can't do it myself. No, it's just echoing what everyone's been saying. If you're only in a bad situation in property, you have to sell. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to do anything. If the worst case scenario is sitting there doing nothing, it's not a bad place to be, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, good. So someone is saying, any suggestion about areas with Article 4 that's proposed or it's coming into place soon?
Buy quickly. Buy as many as you can, as quick as possible.
Get it from fast.
Tell us where the Article 4 areas are coming in, and we'll start buying there as well.
Oh, I thought they was asking for areas that are coming in.
No, we've proposed all coming into place soon.
I think the question is both. So what's your thoughts on the HMO areas in Article 4? Or would you go to areas that aren't Article 4 that will be soon? I know this question because I've had this question today.
Oh.
Yeah, so I know the general kind of feeling in the marketplace, and there's no right or wrong, but you're definitely not wrong when you say, okay, like let's buy if there's going to be Article 4. Now, why do people say that? It's because the reason Article 4 is coming in the first place is because there is a huge demand in that area, and there has been an influx in that type of property, and the council wants to kind of restrict and limit and just be more selective over, like, rather than whole streets just becoming or streets having, like with families, being overrun, or parking cannot happen and all the rest of it. So they've got to limit that. So again, Article 4 proposed, not proposed, any of that stuff, you've got to go back to the system. And the system is, what's number one, what's your outcome? But when you get to the strategy, then it's like, is there a demand, or what's the demand for what product? Because people talk about demand, but it's like, demand for what product? That's actually a key thing. A demand for what kind of product?
Yeah, and I think Article 4 scares a lot of people off. We actually operate in Article 4, so it all depends on your strategy. Like, Article 4 areas are really, really, really good for rent, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because when an area has had Article 4 for a long time, so Nottingham has had it for 8 years, no new HMOs have really been coming here. So the standard of HMOs which are already here are quite low, because there's no new ones coming to the market. So that's why rent to rent works really well, because the competition isn't that high.
And we can update those properties. Whereas if, for example, we was to do rent to rent in an area that didn't have Article 4, and HMOs can pop up all the time, those HMOs are going to be new into a high standard, possibly all have en suites and things like that, where a rent to rent can't really keep up with that.
As much.
Yeah, I mean, that is so simple. If you think about it, like, the longer it has been there, then yeah, and no new HMOs, the likelihood of existing landlords being able to bring it up to the latest standard is very slim.
Yeah, and they don't do it. They don't update them.
Yeah, they don't.
It's just old school, aren't they? Just like, it's fine. It's been fine for 20 years. Why would I change it now? Like that mentality.
Yeah, it's rented out all these years. Why would I update it now for these tenants? So that's why the competition is so low.
But there is that. But they don't have the money.
Yeah.
They don't have the money. They don't know how to raise the money. They don't know how to make the deal work. They probably have only just been skimming small amounts of profit anyway. I know someone that was in property for when I first started investing in property 2017, and people was investing for 20 years. 20 years. They're not really making any money. Especially if you divide up the hours by the time, by the money you make. Honestly, I made more money in my paper round. Yeah, because people have got to understand that there is. I'm serious though. like property, and this is what's good about it. Like you can make huge mistakes, yeah, and you still make money. The problem is with that, if you're not understanding that you made a mistake, you're just looking at the end figure. Like there was a flip that we did, a year or so ago. In the end of it, we made 14 grand. Now I know there's people that'll be happy, like, 14 grand, in 4 months, good job. That makes sense. The amount of hours and time that we put into it is minimal because it was, builders doing the job, a bit of communication with solicitors and broker and lenders, and that's it, done. Yeah. So people would like that. But if we didn't realize, hey, here's the system, here's all the things that went wrong, because actually the potential profit in that deal was 50K. Yeah, but we made mistake after mistake after mistake, ready to sell it, missed things were building control, stairs had to be checked, fireboarding I'm talking about when it's finished, it's ready to sell, the people want to move in, fireboarding had to happen, reskimming, repainting, insulation had to be upgraded, roof trusses where a loft conversion was done, the beams had to be reinforced with bolted on steel plates, just thousands of pounds worth of mistakes. Yeah, so it's like that's an obvious one, and I'm telling you the extreme case for you to get that. But other people, they make some money and they think they did it right, but then when something changes in the economy, in their own economy, when something changes in the marketplace or the strategy, or they've got a flip strategy, there's no breathing room. And there's no breathing room to soak up or absorb. I mean, how many things changed across your situation, Shane? Even when you took it on, the people before who had it, they were struggling. There was breathing room that you needed.
Oh, definitely. When we took it on, because the numbers are so much higher, the risk is really, really high. So you've got to factor in extra things all the time. Like we took it on and it was a site that has already started. So then you start looking at things you probably never looked at before. Like all the rainwater was going in and it was all going into pipes that just weren't big enough. So it was bound to flood. So we ended up having to get the excavators in, tunnel out everything that has already been done to start from scratch. Like we're looking at connected up into the roadway. And then start getting quotes going, well, you've got to go the other side of this road 5 meters down. And we get told, listen, this could be anything from 15 grand, anywhere up to £80,000. We're like, what? There's an extra cost. So we didn't have to spend that much. But yeah, the unforeseen things that can happen or just show up, and a loss of time. The biggest thing I was telling someone recently, that if we had a plumber booked in on a Monday and doing the underfloor heating system, plumbing it all in, and then following on later that, you've got all your other trades that follow on. But then the plumber rings you on the Monday morning and, oh, sorry, I've got the days wrong. I can't come till next week. So you've got 7 days where people are delayed, but then you can't reschedule everyone else. So a 1 week delay by one trade might be a 3 to 4 week delay. And then when you're paying an interest of £850 a day, a 4 week delay, which is not even your fault, it makes a big difference. So it's you need to make sure that you've got a little bit of contingency in there.
Just a little bit.
80 grand's worth.
but this is my point. Like there's two sides to it. This is what I'm saying. When people don't have a system, they don't follow in formulas, they don't have the right people who they're around, the right training, the right coaching, the right mentoring, and they just, because it is very simple, let's face it. Yeah. And when everything goes right, great, job done. But things go wrong. And when it goes wrong, that's when you need to know what to do, because that is when people go insane. I'm serious. I've seen people go insane. People have mental breakdowns. People literally emotionally under the stress, the anxiety, they don't know what to do because they never understood the personal development, how to manage the mindset, the emotions, and actual, putting it, just laying it down on the road and just saying, hey, look, this is how we're going to deal with this situation. Everything happens perfectly. Yeah. So that deal, I mean, Shane, if you look back now, everything happened perfectly, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I can't echo even more what you've just said, because the people in my team know way more than I do about actually developing. But I know I'm a really, really important mechanism in that. But going through being coached myself, and the people who coached me, they weren't telling me how to do it. It was just working on me and working out what can I put in place to make it happen. And we did. We all stood there. We all went to I remember when we completed on the deal. It was like in March 2019. And we were like, how have we managed to pull that off? And we have. So we've come through, it was really difficult circumstances buying it. And then coming out the back end, we're going through a global pandemic. And we're sitting here to live another day. So it's, and to know what, we're smiling about it. So it's not, things could have been so much better. But we're coming through this, and we know we've got a real solid business moving forward now. Yeah,
and because of all of that, and you don't have to be shy that you're being coached by, the people in real life, and myself was included in that, Trisha was included in that. But like going through that, yeah. Now, what have you now gone on to do, and the kind of deals that you're looking at, and you just got your feet into?
Yeah, well, I was going flip after flip, step by step. And then just in the last couple of years, I've got involved in a pub conversion into an 11-bed HMO with a lady, Carol Neal, who's based in Manchester. I've got this property, the 6-house development in Cheltenham. Just outside of Cheltenham, we've got a little bungalow flip we're doing to turn on. We've just taken on another project last week that's a bungalow. And then we've just secured a site down in London, which we haven't got planning permission yet, but we're looking to buy the house that's currently on the plot. We had a pre-app last week to see whether we think we can build a pair of semi-detached houses, and that was really, really positive. So hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have that going, and we're out there, we're hunting, we're looking for the next thing. So we've currently got 4 projects on the go at the same time, and because I've got the right people in the right places, I do what I'm good at, they do what they're good at, and we all come together, and it's working pretty well at the minute. Can't complain.
Good job. So all of those offers that you want to put in, I think they're in addition to what you're just talking about. Yeah. What do they add up to?
The one I was talking to you about before?
Yeah, these sites you want to develop.
Well, yeah, they're the one. Can't talk about that yet. That's what you're saying. When you're buying something, you tell them. Something you tell everyone. Is that it? Can't really say, but no, we're going. It's we're looking at some big numbers at the moment on a purchase. It'll be our biggest purchase, but we've I can't say too much.
Yeah, but I mean, these projects that you got going on, these are deals that you're moving into. Because listen, the game is not just to rely on one deal.
No.
Yeah, one situation, one event. Like, can that change everything? Yeah, it can, but you don't rely on it to do that. Yeah. So what we're going 7, 8 figures. We're going into 8-figure dealings. You have to work that out in your head. Yeah.
We're excited, and we've been investing in some software now to start picking up plots of land, and we just want to build a pipeline of stuff that we just hopefully build out over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Good. So put in the comments right now, #development, if you actually want to know about development deals and how to set up like a passive deal structure. Yeah, development and passive deal structure. Put hashtag development if you would be interested in knowing the steps, being able to build your system, get involved, build yourself, because you've got to develop yourself, get the coaching, the training to actually get yourself into that market and be successful in it. I'm not saying it might be straight away, but maybe you're ready to make that move, or maybe you're ready to build a team to start making those moves. What else we got here? So if you think a deal works in terms of numbers, both as a HMO and flat conversion in an Article 4 area, is it worth pursuing? And what's the best way to find out if the council has allowed the conversion? So first of all, let's talk about if it worked, the numbers are working, deals for HMO, it's in Article 4 area, but a flat conversion as well. Is it worth pursuing? I'm wondering if you've got these two options. If you're asking if the deal as a whole is worth pursuing, yeah, crack on. If you're asking which option, again, it totally depends on what I don't know. Is it your first deal? Do you already have 50 units of HMO? Maybe then the diversification of the flats might be a better option for you. If it's the other way around, you got some buy to lets and things, or you've done some flips, and maybe it's the HMO. Like, it's going to depend on your personal circumstances, which is why it's so important to be coached, to be mentored, and make sure you're on the right path, be part of a good environment of people where you can get good information. And when I say good information, this is not always about people telling you. It's just about people asking you the right questions so you can be clear and remove any of the doubt that came along because you started to think about it. You know what to do. The numbers are making sense. You know what moves to make. Anyone else got any comments to say on the first part of that?
Yeah, I think if they want to know will flats be accepted, you can always speak to the local council. Last week we didn't know. We don't know whether they're going to accept a proposal to put 2 houses there. So rather than buy the place and risk all your money, we got charged £550, which was an outlay in expense, and that's your risk money. And in your application, you take their feedback and then say, right, okay, what materials are you going to use? How are you going to get in and off the drive? How close is it going to be to the next door neighbours? What's the building line going to be? And what are you going to do with the trees? It's all information that you can find out. So when you submit your planning application, you're giving yourself the best chance of being successful. And equally, you can go online and you can look at like the local plan. Every area will have like a 5-year housing plan, and if they've got like they need to increase the number of units, whether that be HMOs, the council might steer you. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So if you've got an option whether you want to do flats, you go to the council, go, do you need flats in this area? They might just go, yeah, get as many as you want. Or, okay, what size are they going to be? All right, well, I'll tell you what, if it's going to be 35 square metres, go for it. If it's going to be any less, don't bother. So they'll give you a bit of a steer. So you can ask some questions, but some information is worth paying for.
Totally agree. So I found a plot of land near mine that I think I could get a property on. So I've agreed with the woman to put a plan app in, but I just went for the pre-app first to say, right, what do you think about this? What do you think about these forms? And get their opinion before applying for the full app and getting rejected. So now I know what it is they're looking for, what it is they want. They've advised me on how to improve the scheme. And actually, they've advised me to increase the size of it. So you just never know. By getting that advice, you can actually get more out of it. And like you say, on the council's register, it will say whether they want 2 beds, 3 beds, 4 beds. It will tell you what they need. So you're more likely to get more of what they need than more of what you thought you wanted to get.
Yeah, and
yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's great advice. I think as well, it's a bit not really on the planning side, but when you say, should I go for flats or HMOs, I think it's, again, going back to the outcome. So for Justin and I, we want to get into supported living. So our outcome would be, are the supported living providers going to be happy with HMOs or flats? That would influence our decision as well.
So again, it's just finding out what they need and giving it to them. So it's a similar situation to what Shane and Lewis were saying, but just in the supported living side of things. Yeah.
We also got a tip off the other day. I think it was an article by Knight Frank. I think they released all the. This is weird, isn't it? I'm never
a good time, enjoying it.
It's even bigger. So yeah, we got a tip off. We read an article by Knight Frank, and they said all over the country which councils were hitting their target for house building. So we looked at a couple, and there's one near us, which they're 20% behind their building targets. So we're thinking, do you know what? We might go there looking to build 4 houses on the site, and they may turn around and go, "Can you get 6? Can you get 6?" can get any. So you never know.
Awesome. I mean, some people have put it in the comments. They said this stuff is gold. This is brilliant. People are interested in developments. You know, people are saying it's a mindset game. So this is all good stuff. So here's another question. So it's actually addressed to you guys, Justin and Ray. So what happens if you're looking at a rent-to-rent deal and there are tenants in situ? If you're refurbing, where do they go? I mean, they've got to come and stay with you, Dawn. Where else?
You have to have a spare room in your house, and you put them up in your house.
Or the
and
shed.
do it up.
Yeah. So have you ever had that situation?
We always ask for the property to be empty, but to avoid tenants being left without anywhere to go, we always say to the landlord, look, if we've got other rooms that they can go into, we're happy to put them in other rooms of ours until the property's done up. And then if they like the house they're in, they can stay there. If they'd like to come back to this house, then we're happy for them to do that. But in our opinion, and what most of the tenants are happy to leave because normally they're not very nice places to live at all. And sometimes they've come back to me afterwards and said, can I come round and look round now you've done it all?
Yeah, so that's the gold right there. That's why we actually like doing what we're doing, because if there is tenants in situ and they're not living in good conditions, we can say, look, we're going to take this, so you can stay in another one of our rooms, and then you come and you can sit there in your room. It's going to be so much more better than and they're so good.
Definitely.
I think it's Shane. He kept saying, let me see if it's Shane. Oh, yeah, it's Shane's device. Yeah. Well, look, you use some of that millions to get a new device, Shane. Yeah. I think I'm saying the word echo, so I mean you just manifested echo. Yeah. So what's that? Okay, I don't know. Bring them round. Something like that. So guys, if you're enjoying this, let us know in the comments, because this is what Real Life Money Monday is all about. It's all about bringing strategies around and making more money, earning more money, creating more money. But at the end of the day, money is just a what? It is an exchange for value. So if you wanted more money, just think how you're going to be creating more value. Just like these guys here, Shane, Justin, Ray, Lewis, myself, Trisha, all the people in the Real Life Tribe, the ones that are starting to move forward, have more freedom, have more time, are the ones that are adding the most value. Yeah, so as Napoleon Hill once said in his book, he said that you got to get in the habit of doing more than what you are paid for. You got to get in the habit of doing more than what you are paid for. Why is that? Because it activates the law of increasing returns. It activates the law of increasing returns. So this is super, super, super important. And this is what's so good when you actually get out there and you're not just worrying about turning over a quick book, as they would say. You know, I'm not talking about reading book. You know, I'm talking about dollar, like a quick book. Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is what some people are looking to do out there. They're trying to make a quick buck, yeah, in this property game, and they forgot all about what you're doing in the first place. Like we have a weekly meeting, yeah, we have an MGOTS meeting. Every week, we get focused on the mission, and the mission of Harvey Property Solutions Group is to raise the standard of living, providing luxury, secure accommodation. And I know other people have done our training, you know, and to that level, and are involved, you know, doing meetings with joint venture business partners and all the rest of it. They're going to have a mission. You're going to have a mission. You're going to have goals. You're going to understand what your outcomes are and all the rest of it. So I think you guys have added immense value. Well, by the way, has this been good tonight? Let us know. Has it been good? Is it good to have a broad panel, the Money Monday panel of property investing, building business, making mistakes? I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, some of you guys that came in a little bit later, you already got taught the frameworks that got created because all the mistakes have already been made, and the people who come in now to the Real Life and Real Life Property Wealth and Real Life Property Secrets and PW Property Wealth Turbo, all these amazing programs where you learn frameworks and you go through how to build the business. Oh my goodness, there's this other training. I don't know if anyone on this, you guys have heard of it. It's, this rent-to-rent freedom finder. Yeah, because you got to find freedom through getting rent-to-rent. If you want to generate cash flow. And by the way, if you want in on that rent-to-rent freedom finder, then you got to just message the Real Life Group Facebook page, private message, and let us know. If you want to know, if you want to speak to someone, they can understand what it is that you want. Because this is the key, yeah? It's not about just like, oh, yeah, I heard about you can make money in that. I want to do that. It's like, we need to understand whether you're going to do whatever it takes first. I mean, you're not just accepted in, for the fun of it, just because you want to pay money. That's not how this game works. This game works. Let me tell you how this game works. This game works because...
do the right thing for the right reason, baby.
It's the only way to discover your true potential.
It's the only way. I'm telling you, it's the only way. So what is super key is if you're discovering your true potential is something you want to do and you want to add this to your arsenal in life in general, or my property journey, because I want rent-to-rents, because I want to do flips, because I want to do this. I'm going to tell you, like, all of that stuff is super important and you need to know how to do that. But if you want to do it at a super accelerated rate, and I don't mean any time frame in particular, I'm just meaning faster than you would have done it alone, then reach out, let us know, or we can have a discussion. We can have a discussion and discover what it is you want to do, what and help you for you. I'm not going to tell anybody I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I ever told you, Shane or Lewis or any of you guys, this is what you need to do, because who am I to know? Yeah, but this is what real education is about. And I think the word education is been tarnished by lecture type, stop you thinking, force feed you type of I don't know, method, let's call it. The pile on top of technique. Yeah, you just keep piling information on top of information without actually drawing out the brilliance of, how do I make sense of it? Like, you're not even allowed to talk to somebody in what you might call normal education, the education system. You talk to someone, you get punished. Or at least I did. I don't know. Is it the same for you guys as well?
Yeah, I used to send them off in my class.
Did you give it this?
Yeah. The bell's for me, not you. Yeah. So like, hey, listen, you got to talk about it. You got to discuss it. That's why it's so important. That's why we got this real life mastermind where we set you up. We got the processes, the system that backs up what it is that you need to do once you got an insight of some new information. That's the key. It's not the information alone. I mean, listen, we'll do that anywhere. I mean, I could read a book and I know how to do property, technically, but that's only insight, team. So I'll tell you something. Number one, Real Life Tribe, get super excited about your mastermind. Apparently, it's hosted by a totally awesome, amazing, next level person this evening. But also, I want to add something, is that discover your true potential, the principles. It's a whole kind of series of different trainings, different insights, different experiences where you can literally discover your true potential. And what we're doing is I think it's the 5th of August. So it's next Wednesday, the 5th of August, discover your true potential, 2 hours online, free training, because I want you to come experience what the training is like before you invest anything. I don't want you to invest in any further, training or programs or anything to help you get certain things in your life. If it's like, you got to come to training first, isn't it true, guys? Yeah, you got to come. I want you to sound it out, and it's a way of us helping qualify you. We've got to qualify that you're the right people to partake in any advanced, material or action taking or courage finding or anything to that effect. So all this we go. Yeah. So hey, listen, guys, massive thank you. Oh, let me put that in. Yeah, people are asking for the link. Let me put that in 1 second. So, guys, thank you so much. Are there any last words that you guys have?
Just get involved as fast as you can, because it's costing you to not be involved. Like, if I'd have got in a year sooner, I'd have been way ahead of where I am now. So,
yeah, same here. I was I joined a year too late, if I'm honest, but I'm just glad that I'm here now. I just take action and just don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is now. So
Yeah, absolutely. Shane, do I need to unmute you again?
Come on, Shane, give us some wisdom.
No, you don't need any wisdom. Honestly, the group is full of amazing people. They've just got so much value, so much information, so much support. And literally, while we've been on this call, I've just had a text off one of my own coaching clients just saying, "Oh my God, something's changed. Doing live videos is easy now. So I've had a shift. I don't know what that is, but it's just the environment that people are in. It's been massive. It was massive for me. It's been huge for me, but you can see the change in other people on a daily basis. It's, create the life you want."
Create the life you want. And whoever is working this technical stuff, the camera thing, genius. Whoever you want. Yeah, great job. So listen, I want everybody to put their comments, put their love into the chat right now, and let these guys know. Let this awesome Money Monday panel. Yeah, we started something new. Money Monday panel. So it's all about money. It's all about Monday. I mean, isn't Monday? I think actually, how ironic is this? I think Monday is probably the day where people are always thinking, "Oh, I need to make more money," because they just had the weekend. They probably just blew everything they earned the week before.
Monday blues.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I need to have more money because I'm sick of this." Yeah, so if that's you, then hey, click this link in the description here. Discover your true potential. Get yourself registered. It's only like just over a week. You need to get yourself sorted, get yourself booked in. By the way, this training is not like watching TV style. This is processes. This is actually, we're going through exercises. This is where we make things happen. This is not just talking fancy, PowerPoint, whatever that stuff is. This is the real deal. Only show up if you actually want to participate. It's highly interactive. So you got to do that stuff. So, hey, guys, well done. Thank you so much, Lewis. Thank you so much, Justin and Ray. Thank you so much, Shane. It's great to have you on here. Shane's got his apprentice behind him as well. Doing a good job there. So, hey, it was just totally awesome. And I think it's about adding value. So you guys have added huge value. Thank you for being in the habit of doing more than what you paid for. But which you're already doing and you have been doing, which is why you are creating so much success for yourselves. And now obviously helping other people to create success as well by adding value like this. So thank you so much, everybody. Real Life Tribe members, your access details are where they usually are. Get yourself into the mastermind. Super, super awesome. And by the way, listen, I'll tell you one thing. Never forget that you got to do the right thing for the right reason. Why is that?
It's the only way to discover
your true potential.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Awesome. We can end that there.